hip extension or glute bridge is a fantastically popular exercise for development of the back 40 in both men and women, but I'm seeing it done incorrectly far too often. So to help us learn the right way to do this, we've got Coach Courtney with us, who's no stranger to these, and we're gonna try to set up appropriately for this hip extension first, Courtney, by taking her feet just outside of hip width, which is where she has them right now, and this is really good. She's gonna have her shoulder blades just on the bench, on the corner of the bench, just underneath that scapular angle so that she's got a good trunk support. She's not too high on the shoulders, okay? Now once she's there, she's gonna be in a position where we can extend the hip and move into a hip extension or a glute bridge. And I like to do this without weight so we can learn how to actually squeeze the glutes, fire the glutes before we start loading it, okay? So she's strong enough to handle weight, but we're gonna learn how to do this the right way first. And one of the first mistakes that we make is by dropping too low in the range of motion, because the initiation here then goes mostly in our quads. And that's totally fine if that's what we're trying to achieve. But if what we really want to do is develop the glutes, we want to stay in more that top end, top third, top half range of motion so that the glutes are under tension, okay? The next thing we want to pay attention to is that we are not just pushing our hips towards the ceiling. If we push the hips towards the ceiling, we're going to have a tendency to want to extend the back, which, as we know from our back extension, is not how we recruit the glutes. No, in fact, what we want to do is not just push the hips high, but push the pelvis high. So we want to posteriorly rotate slightly and think about pushing the pelvis towards the ceiling, not just the hips, okay? And back down, slight, and back up. Spreading the floor with our feet, not dropping too far in the range of motion, and making sure that we have that rotation into our pelvis so we're actually using the glutes to move the pelvis is how we do the hip extension.